Yeah, hang on. Hey guys, welcome to sportsbookreview.com, and it's team winner here for Gold Cup picks. We've got Martin Green, Alex from Lead for Tips, and Rodolfo, and how are we feeling about the Gold Cup? Welcome to sportsbookreview.com, and it's team winner. How's everyone feeling?
I am loving the Gold Cup. Always said it's my favourite tournament of the year. I just love this tournament. The standard of football is brilliant. I'm going to stop watching the Champions League because the Gold Cup is the one.
You must have heavy pockets with all that profit of yours, Martin.
Well, it's finally come back. Yeah, I started off quite well, and then it all went wrong in the second round of fixtures. But everything kind of went how I thought it would last time around. So I was very pleased with that.
Well, I'm glad it did for one person. How about you, Alex? How are you feeling so far? Do you think you can recoup some funds headed now into the next stage?
This is what I was waiting for, the knockout stages. I think that now the teams will be ready and to perform at their highest level, because till now, like Martin said in our previous filming, almost three teams from each group, so 8 teams in total from 12 were qualified in the knockout stages. So right now is the time for them to show us what they are really for here. So I think that we will see some really good matches, and hope to be back on profit.
Yeah, the team's now taking it seriously. Rodolfo, obviously people who are recent viewers of ours won't know you from when you were with us before, but you've joined in a very tough tournament. How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident headed into the next round?
Yeah, I think that we're going to do a lot better in this next round, though. We have a good feeling of everything that has happened so far, right? Even though we have seen some games that have not produced what we expected, though. Me living here, in the States and being from Central America, the type of level of competition that CONCACAF brings is, what you're seeing here, many people will say, even me, we're used to seeing European football, right? In here we will say, well, it's definitely a different type of quality game over here, but it's kind of good to see, teams like El Salvador coming again into the map in CONCACAF and actually winning some games. Kind of sad to see Honduras not scoring any goals and actually making it to the next round, but that's just the nature of the tournament. Yeah. It's always good to see teams from the little island in the Caribbean actually making a presence, trying to fight against the U.S. And other teams. But yeah, definitely, I think that we're going to see some better matches here in the final stage.
All right, I'm excited. But listen, we are transparent. We're going to show how we have been doing so far. I'm afraid it's not very good in total. Here we go. In bottom place is myself. Hang on a sec. I'm trying to get my mouse is stuck. There we go. In bottom place is myself. I have lost 5.7 units of profit, followed by our newcomer Rodolfo, -4 units of profit, Alex, -3.9, and Martin, way up there in profit, 4.2. So
very
congratulations,
nice.
This one.
Congratulations.
So moving forward, listen to what Martin's got to say.
Oh no, don't, because I did well at the start and then not so well, and then I did well again last time. So probably this time it's all going to go wrong.
Yeah, and we are advising people. We're saying bet with a small stake if you really must bet. Okay, listen, let's kick it off now. First match we're going to preview is Costa Rica versus Panama. Costa Rica 2.3, draw 3.1, Panama 3.5. I think saw a few goals there for Costa Rica, more than a 3-0 win against French Guiana. Certainly confidence boosting as they play against Panama. But when they play against Panama, not many goals are scored. They recently played World Cup qualifiers, ended in a sort of a dull 0-0 draw. I was there for the match. Under 2.5 goals is 1.44, so not a surprise. I do think we're going to see a very little goals in this match. Alex, what do you like here?
Yeah, I do think that we're going to see little goals, 3 at least. So I'm going with goals. Over 2 goals on the Asian handicap, 2.05. I was looking at the winner market, I think that Costa Rica, if they win this match, I think that this is their toughest opponent. They could get in the knockout stages. Panama, well, it's a tricky match for both teams, and I think that Costa Rica, if they have the chance and they will play at their highest level, they will win the match and they will have one hand on the trophy, because after that, I think that the semifinals even tougher than this Panama team. I think that the semifinals will be tough for sure. But I think that they will go with confidence. And as for my long dark horse, Costa Rica to win the tournament at plus 700, I think that we'll have a chance. So I'm expecting goals. I'm not going with the winners market, although I think Costa Rica will win and will qualify. So over 2 goals on the Asian handicap at 2.05.
Okay, so you're going with the over 2 goals. Interesting. Yeah, and also Panama. Obviously, they finished second in Group B, but it was equal points with the USA. Obviously, it was the goal difference that let them down. This is a Panama side that really is in it to win it. Rodolfo, what do you like?
So I'm moving here so I can catch some light, guys. There you go. Well, so interesting. Alex, I know you're backing up Costa Rica in that one, which is good. However, for me, this game is 50-50. Panama has been very consistent though. I think they have a very good balanced defense. They have a decent attack. I'm gonna go for the Asian handicap on Panama plus 0.5 at 1.699 in Pinnacle. I think this game is very possible that it's going to end in a draw, 0-0, 1-1, and then it may go to penalties.
Yeah, I agree. I think this has got a strong possibility of a draw as well. What's your tip here, Rodolfo?
Panama plus 0.5.
Okay, all right, Martin. Interesting. So we've got 2 different opinions there from Alex and Rodolfo. Who are you siding with here?
I'm going sort of slightly different myself as well. I agree that it's a very unfortunate draw for Costa Rica to get Panama in the second round of in the quarterfinals. Panama only finished behind the USA on goals scored. They had exactly the same points and goal difference. So they proved themselves a very strong team, already drawn with the USA. And they're going to be a really, really tough nut to crack. So very, very tough draw for Costa Rica, who did win their group. But I still think that Costa Rica can get the better of them. I'm not so sure about Costa Rica to win it in 90 minutes. So I think I'm going to go for Costa Rica to qualify at 1.62. I think they could get it done, but it might take penalties, extra time and perhaps penalties. I might have a slightly smaller stake on Costa Rica to win it in 90 minutes at 2.38, but my main tip will be 1.62 Costa Rica to qualify.
Interesting. Okay, I'm taking a slightly different approach here. I'm actually going to do goals in both halves. No, I think we're going to see more goals in the second half. I think it's going to be low goals, to be honest with you. It's 1.6 Labros. I was even looking at the under 2.5 goals, and both teams just score no. Could be a 1-1 draw. I think it's going to be really tight, as it was when they last met. So goals in both halves, no. USA versus El Salvador. USA 1.25, draw 6. El Salvador 14.3 there. That's with 10 bet. USA sort of had that slow start, didn't they? It was a 1-1 draw against Panama. They displayed that they had a poor defense, letting those goals in with Martinique 3-2, but finally pulled it together, beat Nicaragua a comfortable 3-0, which I think was a bet that all came in for us last round, which was nice. I think one of the questions we've got to ask ourselves in this game is, can El Salvador score? Start us off there, Rodolfo.
El Salvador has proven that they can actually score. They scored one on Mexico. Then the following 2 games, they scored twice. So I think El Salvador could actually score on this one. But I'm really looking for USA to put the ball away in this one, to make a convincing win in here. I'm gonna go in this one with the over 2.5 goals. It's a 1.64. I was looking at over 3.5 market, but over 2.5 gives me a 2-1 a possible score. which has been which has been pretty popular between these two teams in the last few encounters. Although the very last time that they face each other, it was about 5-1, I think. But before that, it was 3 games in a row where they ended up 2-1. So I'm gonna go with the over 2.5, and of course I think USA is gonna win.
Yeah, are you just going to take the over 2.5 goals? You're going to combine that with the USA win?
I am not. I'm just going to go for the over 2.5. That's it. 1.64. That's it.
Okay. All right. Martin, what are you liking here?
Yeah, I think USA should win this one relatively comfortably. They secured themselves a very, very favourable draw. Just finished above Panama in their group, and instead of facing Costa Rica, they've now got El Salvador, who finished 3rd in their group behind Jamaica and Canada. So I don't really rate this El Salvador particularly highly, really. They've already, behind Mexico and Honduras, they've already lost to Mexico 3-1. I think USA can do a similar job on them. They got off to a slow start in this tournament. They've got lots of players that are untested at this level, and they haven't quite gelled with one another yet. But then it really all fell into place in their last game against Nicaragua. They won 3-0. They could have won 5-0, but they missed 2 penalties. But they really were on song, lots of sharp passing, lots of good movement. And I was actually quite impressed by what I saw going forwards. They've played 3 games now in this tournament, and I think Bruce Arena should have a pretty good understanding of what his best starting 11 is moving into the knockout stage of the competition, where things are going to get a lot more serious. Hopefully he's going to take it a lot more seriously and field all his best players. So I think the USA can win this one relatively comfortably. So I'm going to go for USA minus 1.5 Asian handicap at odds of 1.84.
Yeah, nice. Good analysis there, Martin. Couldn't agree with you more. Alex, what do you like?
Yeah, you specified the combination earlier when Rodolfo was going with the over 2.5. Yeah, I'm going with USA to win and the over 2.5 at 1.85. Because yes, USA have goals in them. They scored 3 goals in their last 2 matches. El Salvador is not a team to fear, and I don't think that USA will have big problems with this team. Their main goal is to win the trophy on their turf, but I think it will be really tough for them to achieve this. Let's see from the semi-final and after, because now El Salvador, an easy team for USA, great draw. So yeah, USA to win and over 2.5 at 1.85.
Yeah, I think we've all got very similar bets here. I'm doing the same as you, Alex, as well. I love the over 2.5 goals. Started with that one, but absolutely expecting a USA to win here on their turf. Definitely building momentum as the tournament moves forward. At 1.85, I like that a lot. Rodolfo, were you going to say something?
Yes, and that before we move forward, remember that also in this in this tournament, teams are allowed to bring players from outside, so right now Bruce Arena is going to bring 6 players, Bradley, Altidore, all this Dempsey's, it's basically he's going to be able to reshuffle the team and make it even stronger. Mexico's not going to do that. Panama's not going to do that. Costa Rica's not going to do that. So I think this is going to give the US an extra push to for the final stages of the tournament. That's all.
Very interesting. Good to consider there. Alex?
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Jamaica versus Canada. Canada 2.8, Jamaica 2.9, and the draw 3. I am not fond of playing the draw, but they say when you can't split it, do you take that draw? And priced 3. It's the best, isn't it, of the 3, and I think it's going to be really close. Rodolfo, you're smiling. Are you going for the draw too?
Because you're actually hitting right at the spot. I took a long. I read a little bit about this one. I went back and forth, just looking how these teams have played before. I read some articles about it, and I actually saw some of the bets that I have done in past World Cup qualifications and also Gold Cups. And this is your typical game where you don't know who is going to win, and both of them is 50-50. Both teams could score. I don't see neither team just letting the other one win 90 minutes. So I'm gonna go for a draw on this one, 0-0 or 1-1 at the very most.
Yeah. And again, I love the under 2.5 goals, 1.45 though, very low. Martin, what do you like in this match?
I like very little in this match, to be honest. I'm on exactly the same page as you guys. I really can't split these two teams. I think it could well end in a draw. I think it probably will go to extra time, perhaps penalties. So yeah, my bet will be a draw, but I don't really feel confident enough to put a full stake on it, because I think one team might just nick it by the odd goal. So I might do like a half stake on the draw, but yeah, I really don't like this game because it's two very similar teams, not particularly exciting teams, quite dull and methodical in their approach, and I think it could be quite a turgid encounter really. So I'm going to mainly stay away from this one.
Okay, on the fence. Alex, what about yourself? Are you liking the draw, or you've got something else?
Yeah, I think that is the toughest draw from this knockout stage, and I think that is the toughest one to call. But let me say to you something. I liked a lot Canada in this tournament. I really liked them. I liked how they expressed themselves on the pitch. I like that the fact that they came to the tournament with the youngest team from the tournament, and they are doing so good. Actually, one of their players is the top scorer till from the group stages. So I think that they can go even further than that. So I'm going Canada to qualify at 1.9.
Canada qualify. Okay, so interesting there. We are all sort of siding with that very close match, a possible draw. Now we talk about that being the toughest match. I think the easiest match definitely has to be in between Mexico and Honduras, and very surprised by the odds. I don't know if anybody can help me out why Mexico is 1.57, draw is 4.25, Honduras 7. I get worried like that. Is it a dangling carrot there to entice us and rip us of our money? It's, sometimes when things are too good to be true. I don't know. I'm liking it.
Can I just throw in as well that actually it was 1.57 earlier, and now they've gone out to 1.6, and the odds keep drifting.
1.6,
yeah.
Hill now is doing 1.6, so the odds are getting longer and longer on Mexico all the time. So I'm liking a Mexico winning this game. I can't quite understand it myself. I know Mexico's coach does like to rotate his team quite a lot, and they might be a bit unpredictable. Honduras is a decent side, but I still think Mexico has the quality to get the job done here. And I'm going to be backing them, and I think I'm going to wait a little bit longer to see if the odds keep drifting out.
All right, so just that straight Mexico win. I know I can't look past that, to be honest. Alex, what do you like?
Yeah, I love Mexico to win this match. I love Mexico. They are the favorites right now at the most 99% of the bookmakers online to lift the trophy. I think that they are 2.6 or 2.7 to lift the trophy. I think that this match is really important for them. And Honduras didn't show like they are a force in this tournament. So I think that Mexico can easily win. And I have two bets for this match. Mexico to win at 1.6, but I think, like Martin said, that we might have better odds if we wait a little till let's say one more day till tomorrow. But also I like the over 1.5 goals for Mexico. So total team goals, Mexico to score at least 2 goals at 1.9.
Yeah. Okay, those were a couple of bets I was looking at. I was looking at the Mexico win, Mexico -1, 2.08, and also Mexico to win to 0. They've only conceded a goal, and Honduras obviously 3 there over total so far. But I am on the fence, but I think the Mexico win is the bet that's sort of standing out. Rodolfo, what have you got?
So I'm seeing this game as a really tough one for Mexico. Honduras always plays really tough against them. Honduras hasn't scored a goal. However, their defense is somewhat producing what they need to. So I'm seeing this game as pretty close. I'm predicting on under 2 goals on this 2.38 on Pinnacle. Okay, if Mexico wins this one, I think it's probably going to be by a low margin, maybe like a 1-0. Okay, Mexico is as Martin stated, is very unpredictable at this point. I don't know how many more changes there's going to be. When there's a lot of changes, when there's a lot of rotations on those teams, the chemistry between the players it just doesn't show up. And Coach Pinto from Honduras, he knows this. Honduras is probably not an explosive team that scores a lot. However, they have been playing together for a long time, so I think they're gonna pressure a lot in midfield, a lot of hard tackles. Probably the game is not gonna flow as Mexico will like in the midfield and putting balls up front. So that's the reason I think it's going to be a very tough match for Mexico. It's going to be low scoring and possibly, like I said, a 1-0. It's going to be very, very smart for Mexico to win this in 90 minutes, though. If they go to penalties, it's 50-50, right? So that's my tip. Under 2 goals on this one.
Under 2 goals. Okay, I'm liking the Mexico win here. So that's all 4 matches there. Anybody got a favorite bet that they like that sort of stands out in this round?
Yeah, I have USA versus El Salvador. Both the combination USA to win and over 2.5 at 1.85.
Yeah, I think.
Sorry.
Go on. Sorry, Martin.
I quite like the USA game as well, actually. I quite like giving USA a bit of a handicap there. Rodolfo makes a very good point. USA has called up some real heavy hitters now for this tournament. I think the likes of Clint Dempsey are going to be the best players in the tournament now. And he wouldn't have bothered to call them up if he wasn't actually going to use them. So you have to think that they're going to field a pretty strong side. And I think they could beat them quite comfortably.
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna make this a full house. Absolutely. Yeah, that's bad.
Nice one. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the semi-finals. It's been our team here: Rodolfo, Alex from Need for Tips, and Mr. Martin Green. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.